Hey guys, welcome to the Shawn Linton Talk Show. I'm your host, Dr. Linton. I hope you're alright, and I hope today found you in a very good, the best of health. And I hope you are having a balanced discipline as we spoke about previously in the shows that I've gone on. I would like to talk to you briefly about how do you leave the dark, the darkness into the light. The darkness, it does exemplify different situation to everybody. It's very diverse. It could be a divorce, it could be a separation, it could be a bereavement, it could be a broken friendship, broken vows. It could be just somebody that you just want to separate, that has been deceiving you, trying to just humiliate or trying to keep you mentally enslaved for many years. It could be anything. The darkness could be any of your failures. The darkness represent it does represent anything that is under you. Life should never be under you. You should never be beneath. You should always be above. How does one possess the ability to be above? Is that you have to be educated, or you have to be illumina within your emotion, within your soul, within which is your mind, your intellect, your emotions. It is in your spirit and in your existence. It's just something that it blows up and floats you and give you that ability to move. That is the darkness. You can go through something as long as it is not under you and is weighing you down. Then it is different, because it doesn't matter how old we are, or how experienced we are, or how titled we are, or how privileged we are, or how educated one is. You got to remember that life is life and trials is trials, and as a human being we go through different transition, and we are transitioning. It's a continuous process in life, but it depends on the individual. Sometimes you've got to check the fabric that you are. The fabric you are is your intellectual being, your psyche, your psychosis, your innermost being of your philosophy, to go deep into the art of your psyche. People call that crazy, because sometimes most people that are quick to judge and call crazy are the people themselves, who either they are not educated enough, they are not properly lived, they're not actually in the proper zone to understand the holistic administration to life. Somebody that does know, and I'm not saying that one possess that ability to know in entirety. It's quite impossible to know that, even if you live to see 100 years old. No, it's not possible. But you understand enough to know that you cannot be quick to judge, especially when it comes down to life, especially when it comes to pertaining to the existence of life. You cannot be quick to comment on that. That subject is to be left alone, because we are always learning and discovering and taking. This is why we have so much information, and so much information in politics, in the economy, in sociology, in philosophy, in psychology, in anthropology, in geography, in just all the subject that there is in the world. It grows, it don't stop. As long as humanity still stays on the earth, we keep moving, and we keep learning, and we keep expanding, and we keep going, because we must know, and we must understand that is the understanding, the level of life. So when sometimes it happens every now and then, or it may not happen to you now, or it happened to you before, but it will happen. And if it not happen, it will happen. That life happens to fall beneath you, and it's like you're trapped in a darkness, and it's not necessarily that you've done anything wrong or you're in trouble with the law. Sometimes when people hear about people going through something, the first thing that they say, okay, it's got to be sex or money, or if not, they got to be in trouble with the law. People just think negative. They don't. A lot of people don't understand there's such the magnitude, the power of life when you're moving. Now, scientists did not just happen to, on the top of their head, discover these new drugs and new mythology and new discovery to help the human race, just like that. We have to go through a breaking of trying to sort of transition and sort of shifting and sort of moving to get to that, whereby we get to the place of, yes, and you realize that the darkness did make sense. There is a time for the darkness, but then there's a time when you realize that you have expired that, and it's time for you to come out. How do you come out? You come out by first realizing that you've got to first acknowledge. We have to first acknowledge. We've got to be honest with ourselves. We got to be honest, because what is right for me is not right for you. So I can't tell you because it's wrong for me, it's wrong for you, or it's right for me, it's right for you. No, you need to speak. So you need to know about you. You can't know about every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but don't know about yourself. You need to know about you. What makes you tick? What makes you upset? What makes you depressed? What makes you happy? You need to understand that. And when you understand that, then you learn to you learn to express, your free will of speech and expression in a very intelligent way. Don't you ever suffer in silence. I tell people that. Don't. If something makes you uncomfortable, speak up. If somebody makes you cringe, speak up. If something you don't like, speak up. Do never ever. If you don't like somebody's joke, don't ever sat there and say, oh, you know what? No, don't take it. I'll tell you that straight, because that is the first stage of bondage, taking you to darkness, and it happened again and again and again, and you don't know. You have to be able to say what is will, but you must do and say this respectfully, keeping the peace, keeping the love, and also remember that people are from different homes and different lives and different expression, and just people are different in its, altogether. So people may not mean in a negative way, but for you as an individual, you may not like it. So you need to express your free will and said, Shawn, I really don't like when you say that, and if I am with it, all I say to you, I apologize. I'm sorry. Never meant to cause an offense, and I'll try my best not to do it again. I'll try my best not to do it again while I'm around you. And that's how life is, because you cannot force yourself to be in mental torture and mental bondage. See, you need to be honest with you. You need to take responsibility and accountability of your actions. You need to know when to say sorry, when to back off, when to say, well, you know what happened. If I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna pay you back. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this again. I'm not gonna say this again. We must take responsibility for ourselves. Don't blame yourself, because when you blame yourself too much, you are actually damaging yourself. If you've done something that is wrong, it's already wrong already. So why are you killing yourself and beating yourself and arming yourself and burying yourself? What for? You see, you don't leave yourself room for expansion. You don't leave yourself room to learn and to adapt and to move forward. So don't beat yourself up, and don't blame anybody, and don't give anybody any stick because of that. No, just take responsibility and get into the archives of your mind, of your existence, and learn and see how you can do things better. I know you can do things differently. Now, if you fail again, then you do it again. And if you do this on a daily basis, then you won't become perfect. Perfection to us does not mean that you will never make any mistake. Perfection means that you are alert and active. You are awoken. That side of your consciousness, side of you is been awoken. So you take responsibility. You take responsibility for your own action. You do not blame anybody, and you do not put your issues on anybody, but you take full responsibility and accountability for you and yourself, and be responsible for you, for you. And when you do that, then you understand that you have the tool to take yourself out of the darkness. So you take responsibility and you work on it every day. And anything you practice is like going to the gym, and you practice every day. You get up. If you want to get up 4 o'clock in the mornings, like I say, you practice every day to get up. And sometimes I don't get up 4 o'clock, it's 4:30, or sometimes 20 to 5, but I'm still early, because I don't even need to get up 4 o'clock, but I'm just training myself. But your body clock is awoken. It's been it's been alert, and because it is now actually going back into winter and it's a bit dark, it confuses your timing. It's not like when it was light, but I've got to retrain myself. But that is actually how you do it. You train yourself until you're used to getting up 5 o'clock. You're used to getting up 4 o'clock. You're used to getting up 3, 2. Whatever you do, you're used to do it. Because it's registered. It's registered in your mind. It's registered in your spirit. It's now registered in your soul. It's something that is now seated and registered. Now, this is what you have to realize: how to be accountable and to be responsible. And if you own it, and every day get up and say, I'm not going to blame this one, I'm not going to blame that one, it's me, oh thank you, and I'm not going to beat myself up, I'm just going to change, I'm just going to do something better and something different. If it fails, I'm going to try again, and I'm going to keep trying again. And when you have a weakness or something and you keep it into your zone, and by that I mean, if your actions that you do affect somebody else, then you've got to listen, and you've got to make sure you change because it affects somebody else. But if your action does not infringe or affect somebody else's, then it is between you. So we're getting out the darkness. There's a lot of change that you've got to make sure that you are totally secured, and you get out the darkness into the light. When you're in the light, you stay in the light and be happy and be free, and realizing that when anything come again, you're ready, and you will always